Imagine you're sitting across from someone, listening intently to their words. Everything seems calm and normal at first, but then you begin to notice little things, shifts in their posture, subtle movements of their hands, maybe even a slight quiver in their voice. And something inside you wonders, is he lying? The words are flowing smoothly, but deep down you feel a sense that something isn't quite right. Body language can reveal a lot more than words ever will, and in this video you're going to learn how to recognize the signs of deception, so you can spot when someone is lying to you. As you continue to watch their body, you might notice their eyes. Eyes are often called the windows to the soul, but when someone is lying, their eyes might give them away. A person who's being truthful will usually maintain consistent eye contact with you. Their gaze steady and natural, but someone who's lying might struggle to hold eye contact, shifting their gaze away quickly or looking down. This is often an instinctive attempt to avoid confrontation or guilt. In some cases, they might hold eye contact too long, almost aggressively, as if trying to convince you with their gaze that they are telling the truth. But don't be fooled. This could be an attempt to manipulate or control the conversation. Now, let's take a moment to focus on their hands. Our hands are one of the most expressive parts of our body, and when someone is lying, their hands can reveal a lot. Think about it. If someone is nervous or uncomfortable, they might try to hide their hands. Maybe they'll stuff them in their pockets or clasp them tightly. This is often done to conceal nervous energy or stress. The lack of hand gestures while speaking can be a red flag, as people who are telling the truth often use their hands to emphasize their words. It's almost like a subconscious way of reinforcing what they're saying. But when someone is lying, their body is working overtime to hide the truth. Have you ever noticed how someone's posture changes when they're not being truthful? A liar might physically distance themselves from the conversation. They might turn their body slightly away from you or even lean back, as if trying to escape the situation. This isn't always obvious, but if you're paying attention, you'll catch it. Liars may also cross their arms or legs in a defensive manner, creating a barrier between themselves and you. It's like they're subconsciously protecting themselves from the uncomfortable truth that they are hiding. Facial expressions also give away a lot. Sometimes, even when someone is smiling and speaking confidently, you'll catch a brief flash of fear, anger, or anxiety. These are called microsparseconds, and they happen in less than a second. A skilled liar might be able to control their facial expressions for the most part, but those quick flashes of emotion can't be hidden. If you're really paying attention, you'll notice them. If they're telling a story that's supposed to make you feel at ease, but their face suddenly tightens or looks uneasy, this is a sign that something's wrong. Another thing to keep an eye on is their breathing. When someone is lying, their breath often becomes more shallow. You might notice they're taking quick, shallow breaths or even holding their breath for a moment. This is because their body is in a heightened state of stress, trying to cope with the discomfort of deception. It's almost like their body is physically trying to process the weight of the lie, so they may struggle to take in a full, steady breath. If you notice someone suddenly becoming breathless or taking long pauses between words, it could be a sign that they're trying to cover up a lie. Liars are also often very careful with their words. They might be extra cautious, over-explaining every little detail or being excessively vague. They're trying to keep track of the story they're building and avoid contradictions. A truthful person, on the other hand, will give you a natural, smooth story without hesitation. Liars tend to be much more rigid and controlled in their speech, and you'll hear it in the pauses, the stumbles, or the overly rehearsed responses. Their sentences may seem longer than they should be, as if they're trying to buy time to think. And let's not forget about the feet. Believe it or not, your feet can tell you a lot about whether someone is being truthful. When someone is lying, their feet may subconsciously point away from you towards the exit. It's like their body is preparing to leave the conversation before it's even finished. This is a subtle but powerful sign that their body is trying to escape the discomfort of being caught in a lie. Watch closely. If their feet are positioned towards the door, or if they make a sudden move to shift them, this could indicate that they're uncomfortable or eager to leave. There's also something called the congruence of body language. When a person is lying, their body language might be inconsistent with their words. If they're saying one thing but their body is giving off completely different signals, like a fake smile that doesn't reach their eyes, that's a red flag. A liar will often try to mask their true emotions with a false expression, but the body can't fully hide what's happening internally. This is why you need to look at the overall picture, not just one sign, because if they're saying something positive but their posture is closed off or their voice shakes, their body could be telling you the real story as you observe their body language. Take note of their hands again, but this time, pay attention to whether they're touching their face, mouth, or throat. These are common areas that liars subconsciously touch to block or cover their deceit. They might rub their chin, scratch their neck, or touch their lips. It's almost as if their body is trying to physically stop the truth from coming out. Liars often engage in these behaviors because they are trying to soothe themselves and calm the nervous energy that comes with deception. But even more than that, the timing of their responses can give them away. If they take too long to respond or hesitate before answering a direct question, it might mean they're trying to carefully construct a lie. They may also repeat the question back to you as a way to buy time while they think of a response. People who are telling the truth typically answer quickly and without hesitation. But when they're lying, their mind is racing, and they need a moment to figure out the next part of the story. As you wrap up this conversation, you might start to notice more and more signs that this person may not be telling you the whole truth. The way they fidget with their clothing, the nervous tapping of their foot, the inconsistencies in their story, and the way their body freezes when you ask a tough question. All these subtle clues point to one thing: they're not being entirely honest. By now, you've learned how to spot deception through body language. From the micro-sparseconds to the posture shifts, the changes in tone, and the inconsistencies in their movements, you're becoming more attuned to the signals that reveal the truth. So the next time you're in a conversation, you'll be able to read between the lines and see through the deception. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, because you will learn tons of valuable information in the next video.